morning, everybody. I'm currently situated in the Loves in Skippers, Virginia. I have just woken up, about to get on the road here. Let's go ahead and do that. I got about 5 hours until I'm at the shipper here. I have to say though, this is like pretty good place to find parking at. I have noticed that this place always seems to have spots. You know, I woke up, I was actually feeling hungry, so I got something to eat, and something that happened, Wake up feeling hungry, and I went to go into the McDonald's here, got some food, and there was an open spot next to me, and some other open spots. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because usually most of the time during the evenings or past like 7 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier than that, parking does typically start to fill up a lot. This is North Interstate 95. I'm hoping that things are a little bit smoother this morning than what has been lately. It is freaking a little bit. I do apologize about that. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. But here, last night, it got pretty busy, pretty congested traffic, same as it always has been since the last week now. Needless to say, this southbound side here, which is going the opposite direction that we are going, they were just having a heyday with just backups. They had like 3 or 4 backups, like within 100 miles with each other. It was ridiculous. Like, well, very glad I'm not part of that. There was quite a bit of accidents that were going on that was causing all that mess. This is actually somewhat the first time that I'm driving in the middle of the night. I usually don't drive during the night. It's about 2:04 in the morning right now. And something that I rarely get to do. I do enjoy driving at night. I think it's a lot more quiet driving at night, There's a lot of people that, don't like driving at night or can't. I know my grandmother, she had a problem with driving at night. It was very, very hard to see for her. She could do it, but, she didn't like to. So, that, means that there's a lot more people on the road. which you know, this is what I like right now. This open road, nobody in front of me. There's a truck behind me and a couple cars, but you know, I like being able to sit here and cruise. You know, I don't have to worry about anybody. You know, I can just sit here and drive. I really, really like that. Unfortunately, you know, it's not always like that. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes you get, you know, certain areas like this during the daytime, at least, where it's just open like this. But you don't come across it very often. Most of the time, it is non-stop busy traffic jam, especially with the holidays. Oh, just in case you guys were wondering in regards to the weight that I'm running, it is a lot more than 40. I can tell you that. It's probably, I believe it was around 70, but the weights for each axle was down. I believe the highest that I got was, I believe, 27. I don't know. I can show you guys. But it also was making me kind of nervous. You know, after driving a while, I could tell that, you know, it's pretty dead on with what I have. But what made me kind of nervous is they did not get my truck number, or they think that I said something that I didn't. So I just gotta hope that they got the right person. And then they end up getting mixed up with other guys. Now there was another guy behind me that was scaling. This is gonna be our exit here, which is 58 East, 11A. I have no idea where this is taking me. It looks like it is going to be taking me to get me on 64 here. So when we go over here, yeah. Nothing here. You're always like so used to stopping because most of the time you have to yield to drop it, but there's literally no road there. It's just like your little circle thing that you can do U-turn on, which, just in case you guys are wondering, in regards to U-turns, yes, I do believe this is illegal, and it is against company policy too, that we are not allowed to do U-turns. So but I think there is a few exceptions. Of course, if we do U-turn, like say right here, it'd be against company policy, and you can even be terminated for your first offense. So you're not allowed to do that. And those, of course, few exceptions with circles, dead ends. You know, you kind of don't have a choice. And also, I do it sometimes, but you're not really supposed to be turning right on red. You can. I have not been told by the company that I'm not allowed to. Well, we have, but I don't think they know about it. And I haven't really seen it be enforced at all either, even if it did. But, you know, you just gotta be careful with it. I do believe it is illegal for us to make right on red turns. Actually, I don't know if it's illegal or not. I don't know about that. I know U-turns are illegal, but when it comes to that, I don't know. Like, we got an ambulance going underneath us here. But when it comes to right or red, you just gotta be careful. You gotta make a decision on that, whether or not you think it's safe. Like, I won't do it unless traffic is like, you know, there's like no traffic or very light traffic. But sometimes you just have to make a call because you can sit at a red light for literally 10 to 15 minutes. I've done that before. And there'd be nobody there and you're still sitting at the fucking light. It's stupid. But that's just an interesting fact. But like I said, if you have like a circle or something like that, or a road, there are some roads I have never seen them before, but we've run out of hours here, buddy. I would assume so. It is dark down this road, man. Holy moly. But yeah, what I was saying was there are certain roads that have like permitted U-turns for semi-trucks. I have never came across those before. And it sounds something that, you know, I don't even know it honestly exists. I do have to say though, when it comes to this truck and the high beam lights, it is so weird. Like, it's not a traditional light. I don't know what this beam is. It's probably a spotlight or something like that. But I hate that right there where it doesn't want to turn off sometimes. It's not a traditional, like, switch. Like, on most semi-trucks or even cars, you can either push down and it locks in place, or you can push up and it locks in place. On this truck, it doesn't do that. You have to sort of fiddle with it to get it to work, and it does not lock in place. So you have to click it again, and it's just a mess. And that's what happens if, you know, you don't do it right. It just constantly just stays on anyways, even though you want it to turn off. That's kind of annoying. But definitely took a while to get used to at first. Of course, we don't use them too very often, but this road, I am being very, very careful. You know, I'm not too familiar with this road. It's not all the greatest. I have not been on this road before, so I'm just somewhat trying to take it smoothly. We're going to be taking this road for almost 63 miles. And it is kind of during the fall, so you gotta take it easy and watch out for deer. It hasn't been all that bad. I have seen deer down on the side of the road, but last year, man, it was horrible. You would see a deer every, like, I would say 50 miles or something like that was just dead on the side of the road. It was not good at all. You know, I've got a close call with a deer before. Deer just ran right out in front of me. It was a very close call. You know, I was able to hit the brakes and I think I may have gotten like a hair out of him, but he lived. He was able to get across. Or I don't think he actually got across. I think he just went back to where he, you know, on like the same side of the road. I think he realized that that was a very bad decision on him, on his part. But the thing when it comes to deers is you never want to swerve a semi-truck to miss a deer. You know, because if you swerve a semi-truck, you're going to start a tear tire effect and you're going to flood the truck. You're going to put the truck on its side and you're going to total the truck. With a deer, you might need some front end damage, but you're not going to total the truck. The company's going to be able to repair that, and you know, you might need a new hood or something like that, but or maybe a new windshield, but you know, you're not going to, you know, total the truck by doing that. At least not that what I've heard. You know, most of the time it's just front end damage, maybe windshield. You know, it depends if you have a deer guard. Those deer guards, you know, I've seen work very well. I don't think companies use them very much. I think it's rare to come across. Usually those are owner operators or specific companies. I know, for example, I saw Prime earlier. I know Prime has deer guards. And those work very, very well at protecting the truck from deer. I don't have one, of course. No truck in the USA truck fleet has one. But if you start tear tying a semi-truck, you know, if you put the truck on its side, that truck's totaled. You're not going to be able to repair that. And it's going to the graveyard pretty much. So it's best just to hit the deer. Now, when it comes to a human's life, yeah, you know, if all possible, I'd rather dump the truck and then hit somebody else. You know, I would rather, you know, if it came down to it, I would put a truck in a river to save somebody else's life. And honestly, that has happened before. I never really saw this. I didn't hear about it personally. But it's what I would I heard from family members, this was years and years ago. There was a semi-truck and a school bus. This school bus was filled with children, and for whatever reason, the school bus was stopped on a bridge. I believe there was like stop traffic or something like that. And the truck driver did not realize it. And so it became a little bit too late to stop. So he actually put the truck in the river. He jumped the bridge. And unfortunately, I do believe that he did not make it through all this. But, you know, something I would do the same. You know, I don't want to take anybody's life. You know, I'd rather take my own than then having to hit somebody else out here. That's just my personal opinion. You know, I wouldn't be able to really, it'd be very hard to live with that, knowing that I hit and quite possibly killed somebody. You know, that's why you always have to pay attention to avoid getting in that situation. You know, you want to make sure, you know, you stay off your phone, always be watching your surroundings, you know, watching your following distance. I cannot and will not get close to people. I keep my distance. I go by company specifications. Well, in fact, I go by this truck specifications on what it should be. When I turn on the cruise control, the truck will do it for me. It will automatically keep my distance. It has a radar in front of the truck, so that's very nice. But yeah, like I said, you always want to make sure you're paying attention out here. Make sure you're watching your surroundings. And you will never ever get in a situation like that. I'll just say though, my air conditioner is not working very well on an idle. For whatever reason, it just wasn't blowing out cold air. And kind of weird, like this truck has shut off before in the middle of the night. When I try to use the air conditioner, it's been warm enough for that. It's been between 60 and 70 degrees, even at night, where I've been out in Virginia and North and South Carolina, so I've been having to really work with that here. And it is not working very well. It's definitely not going to cut it during summer. Even include, I had the air conditioner on full blast, and it just wasn't working. So I had to go to the shop anyways. I want to make sure the transmission is all good. It's been doing okay. But I still want to get it checked out. You know, I don't want to be having a problem and it just ends up being broke down in the middle of the road. It'd be a lot better to get this fixed beforehand before it gets worse. You know, unfortunately though, with USA Truck, they do not like to fix things that aren't broken technically, which honestly I don't understand. You know, I would assume you would want to get something fixed before it becomes a problem, but they don't do that all the time. If it's broken or, it could quite possibly become a hazard or lead to a breakdown, they'll fix it. But if it's something minor, they typically won't. Like, for example, I had a low cold Lauren White that came on, and I believe it was just a sensor, but they said that they wasn't really going to fix it. I do believe at the end they just end up unplugging it. Also, had another truck that was kind of weird. This is something that sort of happened when I left, which I'm very happy I did, because I already fixed this massively straight to, and it worked for a while, but it just stopped working. I was having some issues with the fuses. The truck kept on blowing fuses for whatever reason for the outlets and the 12-volt power outlets, and I don't know why, but it just kept on blowing. I didn't have anything powerful enough. I had anything that I have right now is under 12 volts. Anything that I had at the time was under 12 volts. Maybe a little bit more, but shouldn't be enough to blow the fuse. Not even close. Probably the most powerful thing that I had at a time was a laptop, but I plugged that directly into the inverter, so that should have been blowing the fuses, because the inverter is separate from everything else. It just relies on the batteries to charge it. And even right now, I have a microwave that I use for making food and stuff like that, and I run that on directly on the inverter too. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I think that truck, there was something wrong with that truck. I think another driver before me broke it somehow. Yeah, it's just been forever broken. I assume they might have, they maybe need to replace that fuse box, or really diagnostic and see what's going on. We're starting to really get some rain now. Trying to really pour down some rain. Alrighty guys, so 8 months left. There's not very much to see down this road. It's just a big old pitch black dark road, so I think I'm going to be wrapping things up. I got about 4 hours and 42 minutes until I get to the ship here. So, like I said, I'm going to be wrapping things up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.